Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including tons of info coming in about Tesla's Robotaxi event, Tesla's full AI rollout schedule detailed, supercharging getting more expensive, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla's Robotaxi event is coming up on October 10th. We've known that date for some time now, but didn't entirely know what this event would entail. Would Tesla simply unveil the Robotaxi? Would they give attendees rides? Would this come alongside the announcement of some big update with FSD that enables something we haven't seen before? Well, as the event nears, we've heard news that Tesla would be holding this event at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. The report came from Bloomberg and detailed the fact that Tesla would be able to take advantage of a 110-acre lot, complete with the back lot and fake housing areas, to properly demonstrate their Robotaxi in a controlled environment. After this report came out as well, Green the Only posted about the fact that Tesla has been doing extensive data collection in the, quote, WB Studio area for a few days. This comes alongside data collection being done at the Tesla Diner and various Bay Area locations. Ultimately, Tesla's FSD approach is one where they want this car to be able to drive itself in any area that it has never been in, and do so safer than a human being. But of course, for a product announcement, they want to get this right. The Robotaxi is already something many people doubt is even possible, at least within any reasonable time frame to be announcing a car based on it. So Tesla can't have a bad moment at this event, even if it does involve a little bit of trickery. With that said, some new information has come in about how extensively Tesla is actually collecting data at Warner right now. Apparently it's a lot. For multiple nights, Tesla has had a fleet of somewhere around 30 Model Ys and 3s circling the Warner backlot collecting data. This video was posted online, and some believed it to be Tesla testing out the Robotaxi at Warner. While this is definitely a great representation of what Tesla is doing right now, with a significant amount of cars, this is an AI-generated video. A lot of things give this away, but I think the main aspect is that the Robotaxi will likely be taking design cues from the Cybertruck instead of the now older Model X. In any case, this testing is very much underway with many Model 3s and Ys. There are also Cybertrucks with manufacturer plates in the mix, leading me to think that on top of the Robotaxi being demoed in October, Tesla will also demonstrate fully driverless rides across their current fleet, as has been the plan for a while. FSD is supposed to come to the Cybertruck in September, so they likely want to show that one there as well. There are standard Model 3s and Ys being tested, along with a few of each car outfitted with the Robotaxi's camera locations. We have seen Model 3s in the wild with these altered camera positions that are clearly not for some future Model 3. They include one tacked onto the front bumper, one sticking out further from the fender on each side, pillar cameras removed in favor of ones that are stuck into the side of the rear windows, and a rear camera mounted higher than usual. These are expected to match the Robotaxi camera locations and allow Tesla to fully test the system without having to unveil this vehicle in any way. On top of cars with just those Robotaxi camera locations, there are cars with those cameras on them on top of full LiDAR equipment on top, and this could be to validate their vision system or map out this area in even more detail for the Robotaxi unveil. We've seen some of these vehicles out in the wild before, and here they have at least a Model Y and 3 running these systems around the Warner lot. In addition to vehicles labeled as engineering vehicles, Tesla was spotted running cars through what appears to be the main set location for the event. It was lit up, and this could be the area they are focusing on while running these circles. Testing at night may be a particular piece of this as well, since Tesla will likely hold their unveil event at night. And since it's in an artificial location with artificial studio lighting, it could be quite different than what FSD is used to with streetlights and headlights. Testing at night with those lights likely emulates exactly what the situation will be on October 10th. Based on this information, it seems that Tesla is putting extensive work in here. Maybe there is a scheduling restriction at Warner Studios that prevents them from collecting data at a later date, but it seems like they have over a month to prepare and are already hard at work to make this a perfect self-driving area. I also somewhat expect that Tesla will be out there sometime closer to the event with the actual Robotaxi prototype itself. But for now, they have everything they need to collect the data and prepare this area while preventing leaks of that design. While this event will focus on the new dedicated Robotaxi, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla also wants to be clear about their current cars also having this ability. Many have speculated that due to things like a front bumper camera being necessary, older Teslas won't actually be able to achieve unsupervised FSD. This still remains to be seen, but I can picture them giving rides in the new dedicated Robotaxi vehicle to all event attendees, but also picture them planning to have every car they make circling the lot. Purposely as well, they may opt to have different years demonstrated. The idea here is that the FSD software is what delivers this, not just the future hardware. So if they're able to have a lineup of a 2017 Model 3, 2020 Model Y, older Model S, newer Model X, Cybertruck, and dedicated Robotaxi circling the Warner Brothers lot and surrounding areas, taking people on rides without drivers, that will be quite an interesting peek at the future here. It will be Tesla's way to clearly show off their new product while also showing off the value of what they already sell. See, your current Tesla can and will be able to do this. It's an appreciating asset, as Elon might say. Of course, we'd have to take all of this with a grain of salt, knowing it's a controlled demo, but a lineup like that of cars that millions of people already have, with no drivers in them, is impressive regardless. The last piece that I find especially fascinating is that Tesla also has at least one person walking around with some form of LiDAR mapping backpack. That would point to some pretty extreme lengths to make sure this event goes absolutely flawlessly. Not only are tons of Teslas running the route over and over again for hours each night, but the area is being accurately mapped on foot. On the one hand, this is definitely Tesla doing work on a particular area to ensure a demonstration goes perfectly, and that demonstration seems as though it won't reflect the real world when this product is released. On the other hand, however, would any less effort really make sense? The last thing Tesla wants is another repeat of the Cybertruck glass window break, and if they truly plan to put passengers into a Robotaxi with no steering wheel or pedals to give demo drives in, absolutely nothing can go wrong. Back in July, Elon officially confirmed that the Robotaxi unveil was postponed from August to October, saying, "Requested what I think is an important design change to the front, and extra time allows us to show off a few other things." I'm particularly curious to see what few other things they will be showing off. As we'll detail in a minute, FSD will be getting park, unpark, and reverse soon, so maybe they are going to show off a lot more than a simple ride in the Robotaxi. They really want to blow away the press and investors here. Tesla is known to work on stuff up to the wire, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about Tesla continuing to collect and refine data and refine FSD performance at the Warner lot for the next month. But we'll see. This is a huge moment for Tesla, and it's fair to say they have a lot of people, or maybe most people, expecting them to fail. They definitely want to get this right, all while ensuring the design of the Robotaxi doesn't leak until they officially show it to the world on October 10th. Furthermore, for the Robotaxi and Tesla's general AI efforts this week, there is a lot to discuss. While we know Tesla is planning a dedicated Robotaxi design, we still don't know quite what to expect. Many expect Tesla's original renders from Elon Musk's biography to be close to its design. However, when it comes to the interior, we're still unsure. A Tesla promotional video showed images of what the front seats could look like here, but a new report says that Tesla is asking regulators to allow unusual seats in their cars. In June, Tesla submitted an application to the NTC that details a number of things. First, it details approvals needed for Robotaxis without a steering wheel or pedals, but also with unusual seats. Quote, "At this time, we do not believe that vehicle control or seating design are an appropriate determinator for related user obligations, and we are concerned that overly conservative requirements will provide a burden on innovation in vehicle design permitted by the integration of higher automation." They go on to specifically list ways these seats could differ, saying, provided appropriate safety measures are implemented, vehicle designs that facilitate fully reclining or rotating seats, or designs without forward-oriented seats are imaginable, or vehicle designs where only a center seating position are foreseeable. Further, even in the context of dual-mode vehicles, fallback or direct control capability can be provided by remote operators. In 2021, Tesla actually filed a patent for swiveling front seats, as you can see in this diagram, and they said may be a passenger car, truck, sport utility vehicle, or van. This latest report gives us some interesting insight into the work Tesla is already doing for regulatory approval on a future Robotaxi. It could also show us what to expect in Tesla's design for the Robotaxi come October, but time will tell. Oftentimes, companies will simply patent things, but this does seem the logical next step for seats in a vehicle without human drivers. Maybe it would end up looking something like this. Tesla's actual Smart Summon is definitely somewhat of a step towards the Robotaxi, and while some customers already have it, according to Elon Musk, it will see a wide rollout to those who have FSD and enhanced autopilot next week. He posted this in response to a video of this new actually Smart Summon working pretty well at Costco. It does a great job, but does seem to be a bit slow and likely annoying drivers around it. The crazy thing here, though, is that this is really just the beginning. Tesla AI posted about everything that is in their release pipeline right now, and it really shows how exciting the next few weeks and months will be from this part of Tesla. They said that in September, they are releasing FSD version 12.5.2 with around a 3x improvement in miles between necessary interventions. That will also come to AI 3 or Hardware 3 computers. Actual Smart Summon will release along with Cybertruck Auto Park, eye tracking with sunglasses on, end-to-end network on highway, and FSD on the Cybertruck. All of those are very big steps, and FSD on the Cybertruck will be incredibly welcomed and overdue. In October, Tesla will add the ability to unpark, park, and reverse within FSD. That means it will be able to get you out of a parking spot, drive you to your destination, and then park itself sometime next month. Seemingly as well with the ability to reverse, it should be capable of doing 3-point turns. From there will be FSD version 13 with around a 6x improvement in miles between necessary interventions. Then, pending regulatory approval, they plan to launch FSD in Europe and China within Q1 of 2025. That is a huge move, expanding this system to markets that are both overdue for it, but also full of Teslas. Tesla's AI efforts, and especially self-driving efforts, are clearly their focus right now, and we'll get even more details at their October 10th event. I can't wait to see what all they unveil there. Next up today, while we're eagerly awaiting the Robotaxi unveil, the thing that concerns most customers is the upcoming Model Y Juniper refresh. That is fully expected to come in 2025 and bring all the improvements we've seen to the Model 3, among other things like a rear light bar. Customers are excited for that car, but overall, that refresh is simply a refresh. It doesn't change too much about the functionality of a Model Y from a consumer standpoint, and Tesla wants to expand even further there. That's why we saw reports last week that out of China, Tesla is planning to make a different 5-seater, smaller Model Y, along with a larger 7-seater Model Y. Tesla currently does sell a 7-seater Model Y, but that third row of seats is incredibly small and really only for children. In this case, they would actually be expanding the size of the current Model Y. These rumors are only coming from China, but it's likely that these would come to other markets as well. Tesla ships the Model Y out of 4 different factories, and we can assume that a 7-seater with a comfortable third row would do quite well in the United States. Then a smaller 5-seater would also do quite well in many different markets, especially if that's what helps Tesla bring the price down. At their most recent earnings report, they talked about releasing cheaper models in 2025. They aren't going to be that dedicated, totally new $25,000 vehicle, but they're going to be based on current vehicles. So a small Model Y hatchback that could resemble a Model 2 that people have been expecting is very likely. In any case, to add more fuel to the fire, a new report this week from China says that Tesla is planning a 6-seat version of the Model Y. A 6-seater would mean that Tesla goes with 3 rows, but the second row, instead of being a bench seat, would be 2 separate seats. This is a seating option that they offer on the Model X, but that is a much larger, much more expensive vehicle. The report from Reuters says, quote, Tesla plans to produce a 6-seat variant of its Model Y car in China from late 2025, 2 people with direct knowledge of the matter said, as the US automaker strives to increase the appeal of its best-selling yet aging electric vehicle. Similar to the report saying Tesla was planning for production of about 20,000 per month of the 7-seater Model Y, this report says, quote, Tesla has asked suppliers to prepare accordingly for a double-digit increase of Model Y output at its Shanghai factory, said one of the people who declined to be named as the plan is not public. So at this point, it's unclear if that 7-seater coming from China is simply Tesla shipping the 7-seater they sell in the US over there as well, or if they actually plan to make this car larger. I think in order for it to actually be popular, and in order for a 6-seater to actually be popular, they would need to expand the size of the Model Y. So coming up in 2025, it seems like we could be seeing a Juniper refresh, sometime later in the year, see some sort of smaller hatchback based on the Model Y, and possibly a larger one with 6 or 7-seat options coming by late 2025. The Model Y is by far Tesla's most popular car, and it's also the one they have most optimized at the factory. It costs them less to produce that car than other cars that they make. So they definitely want to take that car as their foundation for the future, as they're also on the other side working on the Robotaxi. Overall, I think expanding the Model Y's lineup with all of these different options will help keep that car very popular going into the future. And then especially if they can bring down its price with something like a smaller hatchback, that will be huge for Tesla's sales going forward. Next up today, a small update from Tesla superchargers that could make your future charging more expensive across the board regardless of location. When calculating payment for Tesla chargers, Tesla charges a certain amount per kilowatt hour delivered. Until recently, they have rounded kilowatt hours delivered with no decibels. Now, as of early August, they have added decimals for additional accuracy. In fact, they've gone down to 4 decimals, going to the 10,000th. As Not a Tesla App explains, quote, for example, if you previously supercharged 30.3245 kilowatt hours in July at 50 cents per kilowatt hour, you'd have been billed exactly $15 since the energy used would have been rounded to 30 kilowatt hours. However, with these changes, you would now be billed for the exact kilowatt hours used, so your bill would be $15.16, rounded down to the nearest cent. On the consumer side, this change won't be too impactful, and most probably won't even notice it. However, on Tesla's side, given how much supercharging is happening across their entire fleet, this could earn them quite a bit, likely thousands of dollars extra revenue per day. While it's definitely not exciting to hear that supercharging is getting more expensive for all customers, it does seem that it will be a nominal difference. Even at the most expensive supercharger stations, we're talking about a difference usually under 50 cents per session. Tesla recently purchased an $18 million 40,000 square foot parking lot in New York and plans to install a large supercharger site there, likely bearing 60 stalls or more. So their expansion definitely continues with the supercharger network, and maybe this added revenue will help with expansion like this while not affecting customers too much. Next up today, as Tesla nears the end of the quarter, incentives are growing. We are clearly seeing that Tesla's low interest rate deals are encouraging customers to purchase, since it helps lower monthly payments by significant amounts. With the referral program back as well, customers receive $1,000 off the cost of their car. Recently, Tesla expanded this referral program to Canada, and now it has officially relaunched in Germany and the UK. It's essentially the same deal there as in the US, so it's another reminder that if you're about to buy a Tesla and you live in the US, UK, Canada, or Germany, pause, seek out a referral link, and save yourself $1,000. You cannot add that discount after ordering, so you need to get it in before you order. Also worth noting, the Cybertruck is excluded. On top of this referral deal, 1.99% APR deals have been extended for the Model Y and 3 in the US, with the only stipulation being that you must take delivery before September 30th. The only slight change to that deal is that 72-month loans on the Model 3 have increased to 2.99%. Over in New Zealand and Australia this week, however, Tesla has introduced a 1.99% APR deal for the Model 3 and Y. The contrast between that deal and normal interest rates in those countries may not be as stark as it is in the US, but it could be a great time for customers to buy. While 1.99% interest rates are definitely great, 0% is even better. Some Tesla competitors in the US offer this periodically, but over in Sweden and France, Tesla has introduced this deal. 0% interest is available for Tesla's most popular car, the Model Y. Then, similar to other places, 1.99% is available for the Model 3. It does seem that these deals only apply to much shorter loan lengths, but it could be a great way to save yourself even a couple thousand more dollars while spreading out payments for a Tesla vehicle. As we approach the end of the quarter, we could see Tesla pull even more demand levers like this. I personally expect we may see supercharger incentives, possible price drop, or certain added discounts if you purchase the FSD package at its current $8,000 price. I'll be sure to keep you posted on everything that Tesla changes going forward. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest for future EV battery technology, including nuclear batteries, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.